Hey everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. It is Friday morning. I'm sitting outside getting some sun, that good old vitamin D. It's a hot sunny day today. Well, we want to talk about the Globetrotting Gits again. Meghan and Harry arrived in Bogota yesterday and we saw the opening ceremony. They had some teenagers there. They had a few officials, Vice President Marquez and her partner were there. There wasn't a whole lot of people, just a few, chairs set out in a semicircle. The overwhelming feeling I got about all of this is that nobody wanted to be there. Nobody knew why they were there. The teenagers looked distracted and bored. All the officials looked disinterested. Some even looked glum. And Marquez's partner looked like he did not want to be there. The only two throughout the whole little presentation, the only two that looked like they were enjoying themselves were Marquez and Markle. Both of them grinning ear to ear and hugging, and I mean, it was ridiculous. The whole event lasted about 15 minutes. They watched some traditional dance. Everybody clapped along. Meghan's rictus grin was, firmly set in place, while Harry, with the exception of a few exchanges with the woman sitting beside him, he looked glum most of the time. And can you blame the guy? He's supposed to be the royal. Can you imagine what's going through his head? I mean, we saw Meghan push in front of him, leading the way. Now, from what we've heard, there was a statement made that Marquez invited Meghan, got in touch with Meghan because she was so inspired by the Netflix documentary. This kind of a comment in print, this really strikes of something that Meghan probably wrote herself and said to Marquez, put this in there. Or she did it, it's ridiculous. Nobody will have become inspired by Meghan Markle after watching that documentary. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But I mean, through the whole little bit that we did see from their arrival, their first arrival and shaking hands to this cultural presentation, it was obvious that Harry was Meghan's plus one. She was the star of the show, at least she thought she was. She pushed Harry behind her and reached out to greet people. He even, he was delegated to like one of her entourage. That's what it looked like. It was really, really pathetic, and I'm sure, Harry's gone completely offside, but after years of proper service and growing up within the royal family and knowing how it's done and why it's done, no wonder he felt just completely uncomfortable. And I mean, this whole escapade is a farce, a tour de farce. Somehow it's still allowed, it's still supported. For the Globetrotting Gits, the world is their oyster for now. It really is. I mean, word will get around, just like it has in the establishment and entertainment circles, Fewer and fewer people will have anything to do with Harry and Meghan, and in the diplomatic governmental circles, their behavior gets out. That's going to happen too. It will be discovered. Oh, jeez, I got a wasp out here. It will be discovered that these two are just completely toxic, But for now, we have to look at what's happening for Meghan and Harry. And these tours that they're engaging in, oh, good grief, swatting bees out here, I'm so sorry. These tours, like the Nigerian tour and this one now, what they do serve a purpose. They feed Harry and Meghan's need for approval and affirmation. The tours confirm to them their importance in the world, you know. They believe that they hold this importance. So, you know, they'll want to keep up the tours to feed their egos. Now, as I've said before, Harry and Meghan are useful idiots. They are being, you know, exploited just as much as they're exploiting others. And as long as they stick to fronting the globalist agenda, they will be supported, even by the king. Now, these escapades have not taken the palace by surprise. As mentioned in previous videos, the security services, the intelligence services, they report directly to the king and to William, of course, on a regular basis. You can be sure that these intelligence services in Britain, Colombia, the United States, they all have files on the Sussexes. They know what's going on. There's reasons they're being protected. There are reasons they're being covered off. You know? It's deep. Now, we know that the spider's web of contacts and cohorts and organizations that Harry and Meghan are aligned with, it's all part of the globalist plan. And really, I think as long as they kind of toe the line, in a sense, they'll be protected. But here's the thing, the king is in a very unique position. He has the power to stop Harry and Meghan in their tracks. I mean, they always talk about soft power with the monarchy. I'll tell you, it is a very powerful organization in the global scheme of things, world and politics and all of that. And as far as being the head of the royal family, the king can do whatever he wants. He really can. He has the power to strip them of status, styled titles such as prince and princess. He alone can bring them down. He can remove the prince and princess titles on his own. Now, the duke and duchess titles are peerages, and that needs an act of parliament to strip them of those. But in fact, I believe parliament would do it. Remember, just last year, there was a bill in Parliament to alter this process and provide the king the ability to strip them of their peerage titles, the dukedoms and earldoms and things. Now, the bill was handed to the king for royal assent, and he refused to sign it. He didn't want that power because he knew if he had it, he'd be expected to use it, because this is what the public, and there's even been members' bills in Parliament to strip them of their titles. This is something within the Commonwealth and worldwide that people are looking for as a solution to the problem of Harry and Meghan. And the king knew if he had the ability to do so, he would be expected to act, and he absolutely did not want to. You know, Parliament's intention was clear, and that's why Charles wouldn't sign it. And so now, if they are relieved of their prince and princess titles, Parliament would go ahead and follow suit and strip them of the peerages. But you know, even now, with everything going on, now, Charles wouldn't do it. But you know what? William would. Anne would side with William, and Camilla would too, and Charles would be backed into a corner. And that might just be where it all comes to a head. And like I've been saying for 2 years now, that's the whole premise of my King Charles III playlist. I think we're nearing a pivotal point in history where William moves his father to the side. And this might be just the impetus. I've always said there's going to be some seminal event that pits the king against the public, against the government, and indeed against William. And when will this happen? Well, I can't give you a date, but I have said all along in the past that I would not give the king much more than a couple of years in his reign. And this was even before there was a cancer diagnosis. I've been saying this all along. And I think we are ever closer to a huge shakeup. We just have to watch and see what happens, but I think big things are coming, folks. That's my take on everything, in my opinion. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I want to know what you have to say about all this, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.